First Peter chapter 4. Hence, since Christ deadened away for you in the flesh, you also arm yourselves for the same in thinking, since the one having suffered in the flesh has been brought to repose in phalances, into that not to subsist any more the rest of the time in the flesh as a human in desires, but in the will of human. For the time having come past by is sufficient for you to have down worked in it in the determination of the nations, as one's going in wantonness, desires, wine gossips, boisterousness, drinking bouts, and illicit idolatries, in on account of which they are now struck as strange, since you are not running together with them any more into the same pouring up of a sociality, and they blaspheme to the one having the preparedness to judge the living and the died ones. For this cause, into this it was also well announced to the died ones, so that they will be judged, that abides in the flesh according to human, but live in spirit according to God. But the finishing of all has drawn near, hence become reasonable, be sober into the prayers, and before all, having the outstretched love toward those out of yourselves, because love will veil a fullness of phalances. As hospitable to one another, on without a hint of grumbling, each one according so as he has taken graced gift, serving with this to those out of yourselves, as ideal dwelling law guardians of the colorful grace of God. If anyone speaks, so be it as word settings of God. If anyone serves, so be it as out of strength, which God does choir-like lead in, so that in due to all everything, God may be glorified through Jesus Christ, to whom is the glory and the holding power into the eons of the eons. Beloved, be not struck as strange due to the fire's heat in among you, which is it becoming for temptation to you, as though something guestening is befalling you. But for this cause, according as you have communion with the sufferings of the Christ, be joyful, so that also in the unveiling of his glory you may be made joyful as rejoicing ones. If you are reviled in due to the name of Christ, blissful ones are you, since the Spirit of the glory and of his ability and the Spirit of God up reposes coming on you. For this cause, let not any one of you suffer as a murderer, or thief, or doer of badness, or as one paying heed on strange things. But if anyone suffers as a Christian, he is not to be ashamed, but it is to glorify the God in due to this name. Since there is a term of the origin beginning of the judgment from the dwelling side of God, but if before it begins from you, what is then the finishing of those being incompliant to the well announcement of God? And if the righteous is hardly saved, where will then the dishonoring and the failer appear? So that also those suffering according to the will of God, let them be beside set to the faith in Creator regarding their souls in good doing.